Double meaning words or puns have always fascinated me. That is why I really like functions or techniques where there is more than one way to use that particular thing. Today, let me talk about sequence function in Excel and how you can do different things, different unrelated things using this beautiful function. Let's take a look at this. Let's start by understanding what sequence really is. If you go to a cell in Excel and then type sequence, and give a number like 20, it's going to generate a sequence of 20 numbers starting from 1. Mind you, you require a newer version of Excel such as Excel 365 for this particular formula to work. In itself, this seems like a harmless function, but like I said, this is a potential double meaning or a pun function in Excel. What it means is we can use this sequence to do a lot of cool things. So today I'm going to show you a few simple ones and then I'm going to share 3 particular use cases that I incorporate sequence in so that you can understand how sequence can help you simplify your Excel spreadsheets and workbooks. Let's take a closer look at the syntax of sequence. So with sequence, you are expected to give at least one parameter, and that parameter is usually how many values you want. So like I said earlier, if we give sequence of 20, we are going to get 20 numbers, and the usual direction of sequence spill is downwards or in that column. But many times you may want to have the numbers go across the screen. In this case, you can just say comma 20. That means I want the numbers in the columns. And now these numbers go across on the screen. You can also provide both row and columns. For this, I'm just gonna give a smaller sequence, 5, 5. This is gonna generate 25 numbers in a 5 by 5 array, and it prints them like this. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Needless to say, you can link these inputs to a cell as well. For example, I may want to generate a specific number of values, but I don't know what that specific number could be. I can have an input cell, sequence size, and initially I'm going to set this to 10, and my sequence would be sequence of that cell. So it is initially 10 cells, but if I set this to 30, I'm going to have 30, or if I set this to 5, I'll have 5. If you observe the sequence syntax closely, we can see that it also takes a start and a step value. These are optional parameters. By default, start is 1 and step is 1. But if I set these to some other values, I can get some really cool outputs. So for example, I can say sequence of 10, start with 1 and step 0. That means I don't want the sequence to change. I want all of these numbers to be simply ones. So I'll get 10 ones. This is a cool way to generate a set of numbers or a set of values that are all same. Likewise, I can also say 10, 10, and then -1. This is going to produce me a reverse sequence. A powerful use of sequence is, as Excel dates are just numbers, we can use sequence to generate a bunch of dates. So for example, I may have a start date in a cell. I'm going to print current date here, 31st of July 2026, and I want to generate, let's say, 45 days from that. So from that date onwards, I want to see what the next 45 days are going to be. I can print the dates here. We are going to say sequence. We want 45 values starting from that specific date. And we will get all the dates as numbers. Remember, Excel dates are just numbers, but once the values are generated, you can select this range and press Ctrl+Shift+3 to format them as dates. You will see 31st July, that is the starting value, and then it goes up to 13th of September 2026. If you want, you can also give the step value as 7, and then you can kind of skip ahead 7 days at a time every week essentially, and generate the dates for next 45 weeks. Before we move on to the use cases, let me share one other cool use of sequence. That is, sometimes you may want to have a repeating pattern. Earlier I showed you that if I say sequence 10, start with 1 and step 0, I'm going to get all 10 as number 1. But what I really want is I want to repeat the pattern 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 like that. In this case, we just say sequence 10 and we will get all the 10 numbers. As we want to repeat the pattern after every 3 numbers, we are going to send this sequence to another function like mod. What mod does is it calculates the modulus or remainder when you have a number and you divide with something. So I want to divide this with 3 and I want to fetch the remainder. This is gonna generate a recurring pattern like 1 2 0 1 2 0 1 2 0 like that. So in a way we get that repeating pattern, but it's not exactly how I want. What I really want is I want 1 2 3 and then 1 2 3, and I want that to repeat. So I'm gonna tweak the sequence a little bit. I'm gonna say start from 0. So now I'll get 0 1 2 0 1 2 like this. All I have to do is I want to add +1 to this so that we will get our final sequence. So we'll get 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 like that. If you want to change this, instead of 3 numbers you want to have it for 5, you can just replace 3 with 5 and you will get the repeating pattern. And if you want to see this for a long range of values such as 100, you just say 100 and you will have that repeating pattern of 5 numbers every 100. So this is a cool way of generating repeating patterns. Now so far we have only looked at the sequence function in isolation. But now I'm going to show you 3 powerful business use cases that I regularly use to do things using this sequence function. Our first use case is all months in the next 3 years. Many times if I'm building a financial model or costing model or something like that, I may want to generate cash flows or projections or some other things for the next n number of years. And this is where sequence is really handy. For this example, I'm going to show you how to generate all the months for the next 3 years. So if I want to make a date for a specific month, I can use the date function and then I can say, let's just say we are interested in the first day of October 2026. So I can say 2026 10 and then 1, and I'll get the date that corresponds to that particular thing. Of course, all of these can be parameterized, so I can have like a starting year and the starting month and link them to those things. And 1 is always 1 because we are interested in the first day of the month. But if you want to go for the last day of the month, you can replace this with some other kind of logic. Now, let's generate all the months in the next 3 years from a given start date. So I'll have a start date here. And I'm gonna type something like 24 September 2026. So that's my start date, and I want to generate all the months in the next 3 years, but I want to first skip ahead to the very first day after that particular month. So we are already in 24th of September, so I want to go to 1st of October. So here I'm going to calculate the month and the year. You don't need to calculate these in separate cells, but it helps to have these cells there so you can actually see where everything is going. So year is year of that. So we are interested in the 9th month, year 2026. Of course, we want to go 1 extra month, so I'm going to just do +1 to it. Of course, when I did this, Excel did something crazy and turned the whole thing into date format, and it now shows this. This is 10 Jan of the year 00. That reminds me of a joke about Excel dates. A person goes on a date and asks his date, what kind of a person are you? Are you a glass half full person or half empty person? She looks at him and says, I am glass 2nd Jan kind of a person. All right, I'm going to turn this into general format so we can see the number 10 in there. And then next 36 months, well actually next n months, and then we will parameterize n as 36 here, is I want to have a date that starts with that year, and where it is month, I want to generate a sequence of this size starting with that and then 1. That's going to basically generate all the dates for us. I'm going to select all of this and press Ctrl+Shift+3 so we can turn this into date format. And here I can see 1 October, 1 November, 1 December, and it kind of goes on up to 1 September 2029. So this is how you can generate all the n number of months from a given date and use this for some financial projections or calculations or anything else. I regularly use this technique when I'm building models, because one thing that I want in my models is I want the formulas to remain simple as well as customizable, because many times when we do cash flow projections and stuff, I may want to change the 36 to 48 or 60 or something, and this really helps me there. Our second use case is I have a bunch of office locations here and I want to repeat all of these names 4 times. 4 or 7 or whatever may be the number. I just want to repeat those things. So this is where again I can use sequence to generate such kind of a repeating pattern. Earlier I've shown you that we can use sequence and then we can say a sequence of 10, start with 0 and send this whole thing to mod with a specific divisor like 3 and then add 1 to it to generate that kind of a repeating pattern. We are going to essentially use this same logic, but this time repeat the names of the locations. So I'm going to parameter say how many times and put 4 there, and location count. Again, this is not needed, but it's helpful if we do these kind of things up front. So we are going to use count a function and then just count how many locations are there. This way, if my number of locations change, I can kind of update that number, and of course I need to change the reference as well, but that's that. So now that these things are ready, we can generate repeating. We're going to say sequence. We want a sequence that is 4 times of 5. So this times that and start with 0. That'll give you all of this, and then we are going to say mod this with here. So this will give you 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 like that, and I'm going to just add +1 to it, and we will have the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 repeat 4 times. Now that the numbers are there, I'm going to pass these numbers to the index function, index of my locations, these number. What index does is, if I say index of my locations 3, I'm going to get the third location, which is Sydney. So where we are giving a single number, instead we are giving this entire thing. So essentially index is going to call first value, second value, third value like that, and it's going to repeat that pattern, and we will get repeating location names. How cool is this? If you build spreadsheets for others, you're going to allow this particular use case. This is an auto-populating row numbers in a form. For example, here I have got a really simple visitor form. As I type the visitor name and their time, the row numbers automatically increase. Right now I have 1, so it says 2. For example, I'm going to type John, and as soon as I tab out, you can see that it becomes 3. Cynthia, Luke. How do we do this? This is again a really simple sequence formula. Let me show you the formula. So here is the sequence of count A of C134 to 200. I've selected a large enough range for my form to go, and I'm saying whatever is the count +1 to it and generate that kind of a sequence. So initially when I don't have anybody, this is going to just make 1. But the moment I put somebody's name, it's going to become 2. And if I put Luke, Srini, Cynthia, the numbers automatically increase. Again, a really simple use of sequence, but improves the user experience when you're building spreadsheets for others. So how do you use sequence? Let me know your common double meaning Excel functions as well in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and I'll catch you again somewhere else. Bye.